It is episode 193. Welcome into the Benches Clear podcast, where we cover the best rivalry in all of sports. Yeah, I'm Jesse Gutierrez, and I represent the side of the San Francisco Giants, who are going to be buyers.
And I'm Dave, representing the side of the Dodgers, who won a game, won a series, and looking for reinforcements as well, man. So let's talk about it. Yes, all that.
Yes, I'm not sure. There's so many ways we can go about this, right? And I think the first thing we got to talk about when talking about the trade deadline is the first move that was made. That started the trade deadline.
The very first
domino to fall, which is Josh Naylor to the Mariners. Does it affect us? Not exactly. I mean, I feel like maybe if we look and see how many times both of us play the Diamondbacks, how many series we have left, that would be more the effect. But also, I think this signifies that Arizona's up for sale.
Which is it's a bit funny, right? Like, this is a team that finally spends money, and it's completely backfired on them, right? So they spent on Jordan Montgomery. He's been gone. He hasn't even made an impact on that club, so they're just paying him. And they even
there's an impact. Just negative.
Yeah, just a negative impact. And the owner even called him out after that season. So then they turn around and they get Josh Naylor, and he doesn't even last the season there. So he was supposed to be the Christian Walker replacement. Well, now they need another replacement. So I think that means they're sellers, obviously. But I mean, I think the biggest bat now is going to be Suarez, right? Probably the biggest bat left in the market for now. I guess we should do trade deadline talk right now. Might as well just talk about everything. Dig into it,
Dig into it, because I mean, I don't know how. I mean, we've been talking about trade deadline the past month. We've been way too early trade predictions. We got trade talk because the Giants traded for Rafael Devers. I'm not sure if you heard of that. And then, so now that we're getting closer, we keep talking about it. Next week is going to be, obviously, we're going to do it. We go usually Wednesdays or Thursdays. We're going to go at the trade deadline next week. So that would be more knowing what's going on. But I think there is one guy I think we should talk about, because we both want this guy, right? The rumors that Steven Kwan might be available.
Well, I mean, I think this is a year that, like, pretty much everyone is available, right? Like, they keep bringing up names, but you're like, it's going to take a monster offer to get these guys. Like, I also heard that O'Neal Cruz was being talked about, and they're like, oh, it's going to take a big offer for us to even, like, we'll listen, but, so I feel like it's that kind of thing. I don't know if Kwan is going to be moved. Like, why would you move him? I don't understand why you would move him, but.
Well, I know why. I mean, it makes sense. How do I phrase this right? It makes sense for small market teams because they want to pretend like they can't afford these guys. So their way to build teams and the way they want to keep their payroll down is to take their stars who have a couple years of control left on them, because they'll get them a much better return. They'll trade them to continue trying to be competitive for the next 5 years instead of, the next 2 years with Steven Kwan. So this is a guy, I mean, obviously you could talk more to the Dodger side of it, because I feel like the Dodgers probably could do that trade because they have so many like top 100 prospects, and they're like, the farm pipelines like darling, even though they have the same amount of guys come up as like any other team, but for some reason they get all like the top 100 guys, whatever,
You're jealousy going, okay? It's fine.
It's going to stay that way. But here's the thing. So the Giants, if they were to try to go after him, you would probably have to give up Wisenhunt and Bryce Selchers to try to get Steven Kwan. And I don't hate it. I'm not sure I would do it, though, because it just seems like Eldridge is just that power. I don't know. He seems like a generational type guy. The how fast he shot up through the farm system, and gosh, if it doesn't pan out, this is something that you're gonna like dread. This seems like like a fireable offense if it goes south.
Yeah.
But since if you have Rafael Devers, who's first base DH for the next 8 years, Bryce Eldridge is apparently in the outfield he looks like an alien. Like he can't like. Are you really going to call up a 22-year-old dude to be a full-time DH forever? Unless you want to have him go back to being a two-way player and maybe he just does bullpen stuff. I don't know. He hasn't pitched in like since his rookie. I wouldn't say rookie. I guess first year of pro ball with the Giants, and they decided, hey, no, you're just gonna hit because your power is crazy. I don't know. Do you flip him to be like, listen, Stephen Quad's a good outfielder and you got team control for a couple of years and we could probably sign him right now to an extension? I think it would be forgivable to do that.
Well, how old is Stephen Kwan? Do you know, have that off the top of your head? Probably not. Because over here in the Breaking Benches Clear pod, we do our homework on the spot.
Beforehand.
We don't.
We
do it on the spot and not a moment early. He's 27 years old. So I think for right, like so, but do you think he puts you over the top?
Yes.
For the Giants, you think you think it's a win year now? Like he's the missing piece.
No.
Like because you only get to trade.
He's not
once.
a rental. He's not a rental just for this year. I'm gonna recheck, but I believe
no. I think he has like 2 years. Yeah, something like that.
Another 2 years. I'm checking right now. We will find out soon. But I think it's another 2 years.
What I'm saying is, do you think your team has enough to be like, oh, Quan is the missing piece? We're wasting the Eldritch bullet on Quan, and like, you think he puts you over the top?
Yeah, I think he does.
Like, I think for a Dodgers team, it would make a lot of sense, especially because you have a timeline with Shohei, with Freddie, with Mookie. There's a finite time, right? And they're going to start showing their age sooner than later, right? So if
your best defensive outfielder is playing shortstop.
Sure. And Edmund also is a good outfielder, but he's also playing the infield. You know what I mean? Like they have the pieces to move around, but they just won't do it. They're just stubborn to it, whatever. But I think it makes sense. Like you see Mookie struggling and hopefully he finds it, but Quan, you put him at the top of the lineup, then you bring in Shohei, then Freddie, like it's solid. And all of a sudden you have Mookie batting whatever it is, 5th, 6th, whatever it is. And, if they're all about winning and it doesn't matter where they hit, then it should be fine, right? But, I don't know. That would make a lot of sense if you could pair it with Clase, because then you really got to give up a lot. But I don't know. I mean, I think that's the best package rumored out there. I don't know if that's who you want to give up the farm for going forward. I don't know. That's why I was asking you on your side. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're going to empty that clip, which is Eldridge, for Quan. I don't know. Like, because he doesn't have power, and he's a great player. I'm not saying that he's a, somebody you don't want to trade for. I'm just saying he doesn't have power. You know what he is. He's a step below like the Freddies and the show is right when it comes to like power and stuff. But I don't know. I mean, so that's why I was asking your opinion on your side. Would you be willing to do that?
Right.
Because Eldridge, his upside would be power, and you know what I mean. So but again, prospects are suspect until proven otherwise. Which is, I'm not a prospect hugger, but I just wanted to know on your side, is it worth it? Do you think if you don't win the World Series, was it still worth it?
Oh. So this puts the Giants over, in my opinion, as being a legit team where there's not like a bunch of holes. I feel like in a way, the Giants don't have any holes that can be filled if they get a Stephen Kwan, because I mean, obviously Chapman isn't the best in the world, but you signed him for forever. You're not gonna replace him. Really, Adames has shown out to be the man this year so far. I mean, has really turned the season around. But I mean, you're obviously not going to.
Yeah, I was going to say he has not shown to be the man this year. He's turning it around, which is
turning it around. Okay. Sorry, I misspoke. I bet he's been the man these past month, and it's made turned his season around. Heliot Ramos is your guy. Jung Hoo Lee, I mean,
is what Quan is. right?
Exactly.
Like he's supposed to be that. So you traded for a guy that you were supposed to have.
Right.
But I get it. No,
but
I
the only hole really is left field or right field. And that is your guy. That could be your good defensive, corner outfield right there with Jung-Hoo Lee, who is a great center fielder. And the thing that what the Giants do need is a guy that can that doesn't strike out a lot. That's going to get you a lot of knocks. It's going to get you a lot of RBI knocks. And that is Steven Kwan. They leave too many guys on base. A lot of these guys are, Chapman. He has a lot of power, but he also hits like 230, 240. Willy Adames, he's also hitting like 230, 240 type guy because he's super hot, super cold. And generally, for a shortstop, has a decent amount of power. Not a 30 home run guy, but a solid 20, 25 to close to 30 home run guy. Heliot Ramos is turning out to be around that same thing. Jung-Hoo Lee was supposed to be that table setter, but they leave a lot of guys on base. And Steven Kwan, and this is the whole thing too, is because they did trade for Rafael Devers. I felt like Bryce Eldridge was immovable, but since you got Rafi, it's like Bryce Eldridge is who you hope. Rafael Devers is who you hope Bryce Eldridge could be. A first baseman.
How did he look at first, by the way? I didn't see the.
It was. There was zero challenging plays, so he didn't look bad at all. But then again, it was literally chest high, maybe like, I don't know, like there was no picks. So like he didn't have to pick anything. Everything was chest high. No like pop up that he had to make a crazy run at, or a shot down first base side they had to dive for. Which hopefully you think he can make that play because he's a third baseman. But you couldn't tell from that one game. But apparently one game at first base fixed him, and it's that part is hilarious. But we'll get into that later. But what I'm saying is that Steven Kwan is the guy that I think that the Giants need, that type of hitter, someone that's going to hit close to 300, walk a lot, not strike out a bunch, and you're able to put him at that second or first hole, depending how Jung-Hoo Lee is. And he's a guy that could drive you in, because I should look this up before I make this claim, but I feel like this team leaves more guys on base than any team I've seen in the past forever. So they need a contact guy. And yes, Bryce Eldridge, if he is that guy, of course you're going to want another 30 home run, another guy who could be like Rafael Devers. But I don't know, a contact guy that can drive you in might be a little bit, I don't know. It just feels like Rafi and Bryce Eldridge are close to the same guy. Or sorry, close to the same guy is kind of wild. Is the same type of prototype player. Like you want Eldridge to be that Rafael Devers, but it also causes a lot of strikeout problems. So that's where I'm at. I would be open to trading Eldridge if it brought in Steven Kwan, but that's also scary because if Posey fucks that up and Kwan ends up being like Jung-Hoo Lee and starts hitting like 250, 260, and then Eldridge is hitting 40 home runs in Cleveland. Oh, dude, that's like close to a fireable offense.
But I'll tell you what, man, the Dodgers gave up. I forgot the exact players they gave up for Jack Flaherty, and I liked one of them. One of them was the catcher, and I'm like, but there's no spot for him here, right? You got Will Smith, you got Dalton Rushing, and even though he went back to Detroit, I'll tell you, man, that parade made it all worth it. So that's what if it gets you to the promised land, you do it. And I think for the Dodgers,
I don't think Steven Kwan makes them a legit. I think it's possible for them to get to a World Series if they get hot and all the right things happen. But if they don't make it to a World Series, I don't think it's also a bust. They still are probably a good pitcher short, or maybe even two middle pitchers short, and a good reliever if you were like World Series or bust. But
I think for the Dodgers, it makes a lot of sense. Like especially with Geeka hurt, that he's not back yet. You see the depth when it comes to the outfield, and it's basically James Outman and Esteri Ruiz. They haven't given anybody else a shot, and because they're on the 40-man, so those are your outfield depth. And if Teoscar goes down, which, I mean, if he's still dealing with the hammy injury that is lingering, that they've said, Lorenzo, that was the catch that I was talking about. And Conforto, who has been,
thanks, Norm,
not what we wanted. He's been decent defensively. I'll give him that. He's been better than Teoscar for sure. But that makes a lot of sense, right? Go get Quan, and you give up what you have to, and you live with the consequences, especially because you're in World Series or bust. As much as you hate it, as much as it's like, oh, season, we didn't win it, it's over. But the Dodgers kind of are in that position. They
yeah, for sure.
They have Shohei, and then they have to maximize it. There's not like, oh, we're for the future. So it would make a lot of sense to me, especially that deal. If you can include a Class A, and then you're really giving up a lot, but it makes sense to me. I know a lot of people don't like Class A because of his postseason, but I mean, all it takes is one good postseason to remind everybody, make everybody else forget about the woes. So, yeah, I mean, I'd be for it. I'd love that. Quan fits on every team. There's not like one team where you're like, oh yeah, he doesn't make sense for this team. Like he fits. He's the kind of hitter that
fits everywhere.
Fits everywhere perfectly. Yeah, so everybody should be interested in it.
If you're not a liability on defense and you can hit, I mean, you'll find almost any.
Yeah, you'll find a home. Everybody's going to want you. I think the more realistic is healthy, Ryan Helsey, and maybe hopefully a new bar or something like that. I don't know, but I think Helsey, because he's a rental, I think the Dodgers go that way instead. I don't want to get my hopes up and be like, oh, they're going to make a big splash, because I don't think so. But hopefully they can.
The Dodgers always make a big splash.
I know, but it's just like, I don't know. I don't want to get my hopes up. But we'll see.
Yeah. The only problem is, if Quan fits so well for the Dodgers, what are you guys going to do with your MVP, Michael Conforto? You're going to piss him off, and it's going to be another Rafael Devers situation. You got Michael Conforto. He's
part of the deal, homie.
Face of your franchise, Michael Conforto.
It's crazy because he for a while he was the best hitter for like a couple of games. That's how bad it was offensively. That this guy was like, he gets 2 hits and we're like, oh, he's carrying the offense.
This is the guy right here.
Now he's not going anywhere for the rest of the year. And Doomcell in the chat is right, dude. Like, you keep guys too long sometimes. Diego Cartaya was a guy that we're like, oh, who knows? He's the next guy. He's the next catcher. He's the next big thing. Never made it. Traded. DFA'd. Like, it's a cautionary tale, and hopefully, they move some of these, because there's some guys that they have in the minors they just haven't given a chance to. You got the Ryan Ward. There's Bobby Miller. I don't know if he's ever gonna, graduate and stick in a MLB roster. Maybe it won't be with us. Maybe he's part of a deal too. But there's cautionary tales. So if you get a deal in front of you, I don't think it's, let's hoard these prospects. Always get better, I think.
Yeah, I just feel like the Dodgers always have like 5 top 100 prospects, and I feel like it's been a minute since one of them came up and was like a star. And maybe you're also thinking about it because, I don't know, it's not your farm, like it's not your team's farm system, so you're always like, just trade him. Who cares? I don't even know who that guy is. But when it becomes your farm system, you're like, damn, we haven't had a prospect like Bryce Eldridge since Posey.
Well, I mean, they have,
like,
I like DePaula. He's their number 1 chip, right? Like, he's the guy that's supposed to be the next guy. And but I think you have to get a bona fide star if you trade that guy. That's why I'm asking you, is Quan that guy for you, that you're willing to waste that bullet on it?
Yeah,
because I don't know if I do it for Jose.
I would be
DePaula.
open to it. I could be talked into it, I feel like, but I also would be scared to put that chip in. I don't know. I wouldn't trade a wet food stamp, like $1 wet food stamp, for Michael Conforto.
But it's such a juicy trade from Patricia. Conforto for Jung-Hoo? Come on, dude. One guy can't hit, and the other guy is carrying an offense. You'd be dumb to not make that deal.
True. That's true. Jung-Hoo,
and then we
pulled back down.
and then we reunite Kim and Jung-Hoo Lee. Oh, dude, come on.
And then you reunite Conforto with the Giants outfield. I'm sure. Oh man.
Oh, I'm sure he'd go off. You know, he was a inside agent the whole time, double agent, and he's just gonna go off.
Yeah, dude, what the hell? Like, I thought he was not hitting for you guys, and all of a sudden he comes back to Oracle. And all of a sudden he can hit at Oracle now. Trash. I mean, it's trash. I hate him.
Yeah, I have nothing to say. I can't even like be mad at the dude because everybody else is so bad. So it's not like, oh, trade him because nobody's hitting. So, you know,
right?
But yeah.
Well, since the D-backs are fire selling, you guys aren't looking for starting pitching though, and obviously you wouldn't be. Well, I guess Suarez, you can always just move. You know, you don't know how long Muncy's going to be out, but then again, that can cause a problem.
No, we do. He's coming back soon.
Just
said, yesterday they said that he was a couple of days ago he was already taking ground balls, and Robert said that he could be back in 2 weeks. So I think they said that Sunday or yes, one of these days he was going to start in rehab or something like that.
Mm-hmm. I was hoping that we could maybe do pick one of the D-backs trade chips, and we do that back and forth. But I don't think. First of all, it's not even possible just because I don't think any teams would want to trade in division. That just doesn't happen. I would love a Merrill Kelly or a Zach Gallen, but
I mean, it's happened before. I think you have more of a possibility with you guys.
A major trade like that? I don't think so. Not that I could think of.
Well, do you remember
division?
It's been a while, but the Padres and Dodgers, they did the whole Matt Kemp, just Marty Grandal. You remember that one?
Matt Kemp was like washed.
Was he?
Yeah.
What year that was? He
was super washed.
And then he said some comments like it's good to be in a baseball city or something like I don't know. He said that when he left.
I agree.
I don't remember.
I'm sure it would be.
But yeah. I mean, it'll happen. I mean, we got River Ryan for Matt Beatty, the great Matt Beatty. Like they fleeced us.
Yeah.
So there you go. Like it could happen.
Matt Beatty was on the Giants for the opening day roster. That was hilarious in 2023. Yes. Moving on. I think the other thing, technically it's not around the league because it's Giants related, but I think we got to talk about it. How did you feel about the umpire yelling at Justin Verlander, worry about getting him out of the third inning? What was your reaction?
First of all, is there something in the water in Toronto when it comes to umpires? Because we saw that one, and then immediately they played the Giants, and the umpires also went off on Boone, which was hilarious.
Yes.
And then they did this whole shoe getaway kind of thing. I thought it was hilarious because it happened to them. But I think that's funny, man. I think sometimes the umpires, they get a lot of shit. They obviously do, and some of it is warranted, some of it isn't. So when it's not warranted, and any case that the Giants are bitching, it's not warranted. The umpire is completely right? And I think it's hilarious because how do you come back from that? When he's like, hey, man, worry about going 3 innings, you freaking bum.
Here's the thing. One thing about me, I love trash talking baseball. It's my favorite thing in the world. I wish, more players had the balls to do that, right?
Most of these guys are homies off the field.
Which is fine. You can still talk trash to your friends. I don't think that's a problem. But what I'm also saying is umpires are literally the softest people on the planet Earth. They will throw guys out of the game for almost nothing. And it's you're going to be the one to say, I wouldn't mind if he said that to Verlander, but you're also allowed to say whatever you want. Come on, dude. Umpires are all of a sudden going to start talking trash, and then when they say anything to him, you're gone.
First of all,
come on.
The umpire is out there in the blistering sun with all this gear on. He can't sit down at any point. Verlander's taking an early day off because he can't go more than 3 innings, and he's over there talking from, the shady dugout to the guy
Listen,
that's doing his job.
I don't mean to be a Dodger fan about this. I don't mean to be a Dodger fan about this, but it was a really bad zone. It was a really bad zone for him. No way does that excuse how bad of an outing he had there. It was terrible. I mean, the walks would have happened if he would have got some borderline calls, still would have happened because he was missing a lot. But it was a little bad for him. And the umpiring that series was terrible. Like one of the worst. Some of the Rafael Devers strike threes, it was 4 inches out the zone. But then again, Alejandro Kirk has that same reputation as Patrick Bailey. So I also can't talk shit because Patrick Bailey does the same thing for us. So
no, you know what? It's not just you guys. It's been a pandemic, dude, around the league. Somebody had I posted Glasnow's start. Was it yesterday? And he dotted a couple of pitches twice, and the umpire was like, "No, that's inside." And it was crazy because it was like the perfect pitch. Whatever. Then somebody mentioned that the Rangers and Angels, or I think it was them. The zone was atrocious. Like they put it up and they're like, "Dude, the guy didn't swing at one pitch and he struck out on 3 balls. Like it's horrendous." Like they got to do something about these umpires, dude, because their zones are terrible, and it's hard to watch, especially when your team isn't scoring runs and you're already annoyed. I don't want to watch the ump show. So yeah. I'm not going to disagree with the ump for what he said to Verlander because it was hilarious. But yeah, these guys need to tighten it up, dude. They get annoyed when somebody presses them about their job, right? Like, dude, go back into the dugout or go back into whatever, look at your calls and take a minute to realize that you're wrong, dude. Fix it. Like, can't be so sensitive.
Correct. 100%. Umpires are the biggest crybabies in the sport of baseball. Like it is like they're so sensitive. It's not even funny. So I 100% agree with you. But what I will say is there's a lot of complaining I see online where it's like, "Oh, look, this was a strike," and it is literally borderline.
Oh, well, I'm not talking about those. I'm not talking about those because
Dave, you are talking about it. Let me tell you why.
I'm not talking about those.
I've seen you post it. All right,
I will send you the ones that I posted.
I've seen you post paint and then complain about it. I've seen you post paint and complain about it.
I can guarantee you that there's not a single post that I've made where it's like it just nicked the zone. I am one of those guys.
I'm going to start screenshotting, Dave.
You can go ahead, and if I'm wrong, you can prove it wrong. But I don't think so because for me, the ABS is not for that, and I would hate to see it do that.
Right.
It's kind of like the whole second base where like you popped up a little bit, just barely for a millisecond, and you're out.
Right.
Like that's not what it's intended for. So I hope that when the ABS comes out, that there's not somebody hosed because it literally grazed, like literally barely touched the zone. You know what I mean? Like you can't even tell to the naked eye kind of thing. I don't want that. So I don't know. I know I complain about the strike zone, but sometimes they're horrible, dude.
Sometimes it's horrible, but sometimes
you can take your Dodgers hate glasses off and be like,
I will not.
It's not even about the teams that are playing. It's about the umpires that we want to get fixed.
Right. 100%. And I get it. Let's get the call right. I understand. I agree. But you can't, there's people that out there that are posting paint, and it is like, just shut up and realize like you're losing, be mad at your team, whatever. But sometimes, and I don't think it's not you. I think I might've seen you, which is why I'm saying it, but I know I've seen it from other people where it's like, dude, that is literally 50-50 call. And sometimes you just got to watch the game. Like there was a whole John Boy breakdown of a Bryce Harper at bat plus strikes not getting called. I forgot who was in the box, but Real Muto was setting up here, and then the pitch is down here. It's technically in the strike zone, but he's catching it like this, and it's going down. So that's the opposite of a frame job. Like,
yeah, so sometimes
also kind of on the catcher and on the pitcher for not hitting his location.
Yes, sometimes the picture that you take on, or the screenshot you take, doesn't tell the full picture, right? And 100%. For the most part, I'm like, sometimes I'll complain because it's the first inning, but then it's like if the guy is equally shitty on both sides, then I can't really complain, right? Because he's being consistent. Right. And that's the thing. That's when I get upset, when it's like, why is he getting that call? And now when we're batting, it's not. Or like now it is a strike. And now, like, you know what I mean? That's when I'm like, just be consistent.
Smith can't frame to save his life, so. No, but
I Russian who was up there, but all right.
But this is exactly the question. I mean, we've been usually around the league. We get like 5 minutes. This is half the podcast we're on around the league, but this is good. So, to cap off this thing, this is what's kind of really important right here.
Let's hear it.
Consistency, right? So, yeah, would you want them to look at their misses and kind of adjust? Or would you like, hey, call the same zone? If you're calling, this corner, call it for both teams and just let it die? Or are you wanting, them to adjust and just stick within the box?
Like normally says here, like the players look at their pads in between innings. Why can't umpires? I think it takes away a human element out of it, right? I just want consistency. If your zone is what it is, whether it's good or bad to my eyes, to what everybody else, but if it's the zone for both teams, then I don't care. Then you're consistent. You know what I mean? Like, at least this is my zone. You know what it is. You adjust to it, kind of thing, right? Okay, right. That's fine. But it's for both teams. It's when it's like, it's one zone for him, one zone for him. Like, that's when I'm like, no, that's shit. Go and fix that. But yeah, it's a slippery slope, dude, because I know we want the ABS, but it's also like, pitchers are going to use that to their advantage, and they're just going to exactly.
And
they're going to abuse it.
It's the same thing with replay. Return of the Mac. There he is. Cheesecake. It's the same thing with replay. Replay was, hey, let's get these calls right. But now with replay, now you get the slide where it beats them by a full foot. But then they, from the hands to the feet of the legs, they're off the bag for a millisecond and they keep the tag on. Now they're out. So yeah, you're also going to get stuff like that. So, but we'll see. I mean, we're going to be talking about umpires the rest of the season, the rest of our lives, probably. So even when we're 80 years old, still doing this podcast, yelling at the sky.
Most definitely.
Now this is probably the best segment of the podcast that I think sometimes gets overlooked, and I want to thank Doomsaw for bringing this up. Is this true, Dave?
Yes. So our bullpen has been depleted and it's looked awful the last couple of days. Right? There's like no one that we've been able to. Tanner Scott went down, and may have avoided major injury, but we don't know how long he's going to be out. Kirby Yates is more like Kirby Yikes lately.
Okay, drop bars. Right. Bars.
And, then we got kids that are coming up and throwing the ball to right field when they just have to lob it to first or lob it to the home plate. And PFP, man, you need some more of that.
So I don't think we did this properly. Doomsaw just opened up Blake Trident watch. My balls. Yes. So
yeah. Anyways, my point is that he's looked good in his outings, and hopefully, I think this was his back-to-back. So if he comes out of this one okay, I think that we're gonna talk, see if they bring him back after that. So hopefully, if all goes well, if he feels good tomorrow, maybe we'll see him in Boston. And yeah, the Patriot returns.
The what?
The Patriot. Start Blake Trent.
Oh, my balls. Yeah, I didn't watch the new South Park episode that everyone's going crazy over. So, but
you didn't?
I have
it's
not
everywhere.
I've seen some clips. So
Twitter.
This is more relevant than ever.
Yeah.
What we should do.
If he saw it, he hated it. There's no way to make fun of this guy like that.
If we have a Blake Trident watch, maybe we should have an Austin Barnes watch. Because Snell went 5, but who had an RBI hit off of Blake Snell? Austin Barnes.
The the sad
just
thing is,
the two of us.
Snell is just there visiting. He'll go back to the majors. Barnes,
we'll go back to the majors as a second catcher because our backup catcher is not good. So he will still be there.
We'll see.
We'll see. The reason I'm sure Austin Barnes probably could come up, but it's like, hey, he ain't coming up unless Blake Snell's part of the league, baby. He's like, I can't do it. I need my at least 2 knocks against Blake Snell once every 3 months, or else I'm not playing baseball.
Good luck to him.
All right, let's get into these weeks, huh? We almost had an emergency guest on this podcast because Giants side's going to go first because this was legitimate upsetting. Giants got their ass kicked in Toronto. And is it because Toronto's hot? The best team in the AL East right now. Are the Giants, but to get swept, to lose 2 series in a row, then to get swept in Toronto, and then lose the first game in Atlanta. The Giants were 3 games over 500. I mean, at one point it's like, oh shit, should we sell at this point? Because Robbie Ray, a year and a half on his contract, is probably going to get a nice return, all this kind of stuff. We won 2 against the Braves, which basically means we're back, baby. Like we're World Series contenders again. But Rafael Devers is fixed. He had a fever, and the only prescription was 1 day at first base to fix his whole season. And he's the man again. I guess after Monday's game, the loss against the Braves, they didn't have a team meeting, but they had a team discussion, is what it's called. And they're playing on fire again. So now we're 5 games over 500. We're pretty much the best team in baseball. And Justin Verlander got his first win, baby. Ben Verlander, you are avenged. We did it for you, all right? The Giants are good.
Screw that, okay? He needed
Chaz Michaels is figure skating.
He needed a blowout to get his first win. And I love how Ben Verlander was like, oh, yeah, let's go. 5 innings, whatever it was, hits. No mention anywhere in all his tweets about the 5 freaking walks that Verlander gave up.
Yeah, why? You don't need to talk about that.
So,
pass, baby.
Good for you. Good for you. If it was a close game, he would have crumbled. But whatever. It doesn't matter. Every clock that's broken is right at least once a day, right? Twice a day. So, whatever.
Well.
So he'll get another win, but then
Justin Verlander's about to win 10 in a row after not winning the entire first 2/3 of the season. Does he have 10 more starts? I don't know. He has 8 more starts. He's gonna go 8-0. All right,
he's
all 8
wins. Traded back to Houston because that's usually how his career goes, and then he'll win 10 in a row or whatever it is.
That's fine with me as long as we pick up a couple starters. Then, so that would actually drive the price
both
up.
of our teams were free falling. If we didn't win yesterday, we would have had the exact same record in the last 10 games. You guys are 3-7. We're 4-6.
Yeah, we have the same record of the past 2 series, but because technically we played each other before that, those to round out those 10 games, and you won one more game than us, so that would be impossible.
Yeah, I mean, in ours we played the Twins, and then before that, who was it? You guys, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's right.
So, yeah, and this is what I mean. We still have a tough schedule in front of us. We got Boston, we've got Tampa Bay, and we've got I forgot who the other team. The Reds, right? The Reds are in between them, but it's got to be a little demoralizing, especially for you guys that are right behind us, because Dodgers are not playing well at all, defensively, offensively. And before they got Glasnow back, even pitching-wise, they weren't doing too hot. So, and you look at it today, and they're 5 games up on the Padres, 6 games up on the Giants, and it's crazy because neither
team expect the Dodgers to play like this much longer.
No, exactly. So the Padres, who were playing the Marlins, played the Nationals, playing the Cardinals, they should have taken way more advantage of the Dodgers' struggles than they have, and they didn't. The Giants, they've been up and down all year, even with the trade that got them Rafi. So,
right.
I don't know, man. It looked like this division was going to get at least 2 teams in there. we thought even 3. We're like so confident, like, oh yeah, there's no way they're so good. And now it's like, I don't know, man. Maybe it's just the Dodgers at the end of the day if these guys don't.
Why do you say fuck me for? Padres are losers, dude. Padres losers. Cheesecake's right. Padres are trash. Giants are gonna make it in, right?
But
Padres, Kirby Days, May Day Parade, Giants in 5, baby.
But yeah, very frustrating week for both squads. I think even the Dodgers. I mean, I've seen Kershaw show a lot of emotion this year, whether it's good or bad, and
not a team leader.
I mean, he's the old man on the team. Let somebody else lead. But you had Stuart Ruiz not being able to pick up a ground ball or a base hit that went into right field that goes under his glove, throwing it over third base, not throwing it to second base. Andy Pages just misjudging fly balls and not catching them. It was a terrible week. And Dave Roberts even said, I hope this is rock bottom because I don't know what's after this. Like, you can't be worse than this defensively. Like,
can you do that as a manager? I hope this is as bad as we're gonna play.
It's as nice as Dave Roberts is being trying to be a dick to his team, right? Like trying to get their attention and be like, all right, dude, you've sucked hard. Like, I hope this is it. I hope you're done because you got to play better. But yeah, it's been a rough watch. Hopefully they won yesterday, so hopefully it's what they need. It was a walk-off from Freddie. Who else, right? And hopefully that propels them into
the Dodgers should have lost that game.
Don't start. Don't you freaking start.
The Dodgers should have lost. It was literally 2 strikes, 2 outs in the ninth.
If anyone should never talk about next swing.
Check swing out to here all of a sudden, because Mookie freaking Betts, all of a sudden.
Darren Ruff.
Well, he doesn't do no swing. Safe.
Is Darren Ruff Mookie Betts? He got
Darren Ruff ain't in the league anymore, right? You keep your name out of his mouth.
So a guy that's not even in the league
got
name out of
your
treatment.
Keep my wife's name.
The umpire said he didn't go. The umpire said it didn't go, and I am for the umpires when they get the call right.
We are for the umpires when they start cheating.
He did not go.
When they're cheating.
And then he beat out a single. So good for them.
Unbelievable.
Hey, but they needed that win desperately. So thanks for the assist.
Here's the thing.
No. The thing is we needed it.
Wife's name out your fucking mouth. Cheesecake, right?
Is that even how you say Darren Ruff? I thought it was D-A-R-I-N.
No, it's like D-I-N-R-U. He got the rough part right. Only one F, but what's it called? Dang it, now I forgot where I was going with this. Oh yeah, this is where I was going with it. I'm locked back in. The thing is, the Dodgers didn't need this win. They sure
did.
They are a terrible baseball team right now, and they are still 5 and 6 games ahead of second and third. So
that says more about you guys than it says about us.
But that's what I'm saying. You didn't need it. You know who needed wins was the San Francisco Giants, who might have turned into sellers if they lost 2 more games to the Braves instead of winning those 2. So I don't know, man. This is it's not a good look. The Giants need to go on a run. But yeah.
We talked about this all year last year. They just need to go on one good run. You can't do that. You can't be that team.
Well, the thing is those
you were against that.
But they already went on a run. So it's not like they've showed it before. They've just been getting like the Giants were so mid. It felt like they were always around 500. So it was like they needed to go on a run plus go on another run. They went on the first run. So now they just need to go on the second run to send them into the stratosphere.
I will say everybody wanted to anoint Buster Posey like the greatest GM in the world after the Ravi Devers. And now all of a sudden I'm seeing stuff like, well, he missed on Adames, and look what he gave up for
he missed on Adames, not even 1 year into the contract. Oh, I hate people. I hate people so much.
And he's like, oh, look at Ravi Devers. I know who he is, but he hasn't even gotten going. All that stuff could have been allocated to something different. And I'm like, yeah. I like
something
this.
different. Tell me who you could have got. It's better than Rafael Devers for that contract, unless you drafted him. Unless you drafted him. Like there's
when you're losing, the grass is always greener somewhere else, apparently. So even Rafi Devers, you know.
Tell that to Boston fans, which are weirdly quiet all of a sudden. Every day I saw tweets of Giants record since the Rafi trade, and the Red Sox record since the Rafi trade. Okay, 2 home runs for your ass. All right, now he's getting hot. He played first base for 1 day. Now he's fixed, baby. That's how we do it.
You know, we have to deal with the Boston Red Sox next, so hopefully they're not doing too good.
Okay, thank God.
But yeah,
I thought you said you were playing the Reds for a second. I was like, oh, damn it, I thought you said Red Sox.
No, we got the Red Sox, then we got the Reds.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, well.
And I think we see old friend Bueller tomorrow. So,
ooh.
I mean, because baseball's baseball, he's probably going to throw a no-hitter, right?
For sure. Right. You got a 6 ERA, and then all of a sudden he faces his whole team.
I could already hear the pregame. Oh, Bueller has trouble in the first inning, so you got to get on him, and then a 1-2-3 inning right away or something. Like I could already see it.
Or bases loaded, nobody outs, but he gets out the jam, no runs.
yeah. And then the next game he gets shelled, of course, because baseball. He couldn't. But we'll see. But let's get to our studs and duds, man.
Yeah, sorry. Before we get into the best segment of the show, second best segment besides Blake Try and Watch. Thank you guys so much for listening. We got a good amount of you guys in here. Make sure to like and subscribe to the podcast on your favorite podcasting platforms. Please on YouTube. I know most of you guys on here are on Twitter, so if you can just switch over to YouTube really quick, log into all the YouTube channels that you made when you were like 5, and just hit the subscribe. Let the numbers run up. We're 20 away from 1,000. We're gonna do a giveaway at 1,000. So please subscribe.
You think they made their accounts that there were 5, and then just like, you think they remember the passwords? If I
hit the forgot my password, and just get it done for us this one time, and we would appreciate it. So, but until then,
do you ever hate? Before we get there, do you ever hate when they're like, oh, you forgot your passwords, change it, and then I change it and it's to like the password that I thought it was, and they're like, oh, you can't use this one, you've already used this, and I'm like,
you motherfucker,
son of a bitch.
All right, let's do it.
It's that time again. It's the start of the dud of the week. Start the dud of the week.
Yeah, here it is, and I'm gonna go first because you guys are talking shit about him. I'm doing good because I'm gonna turn my bad into a segue. So you guys are talking crap about him. I could do all the guys you were talking crap about. I can go any way you want. I can go Rafi Devers, who is all bust, blah, blah. This last week, he in 385 won with a 1.1 OPS with a couple of bombs, right? Looking like the man. Or I'm going to give it to the person I actually am going to give it to, which is, I guess I should, have this stuff queued up, but I'm going to do it anyways. Willie freaking Adames. The worst contract because Buster Posey sucks. Keep my wife's name out your mouth. Buster Posey is a beautiful child, and Willie Adames is on a freaking run. I mean, he's been on a run for this whole month. But man, now he's just
Williamson, Willard. What's Willie short for? Williamson? Willard?
Well, on his,
I'm gonna call him Willard Adames.
You can call him whatever you want. You can call him team leader. You can call him guy who's talking to everyone and say, hey, listen here, guy, be better, do better. And then all of a sudden the team busts out 2 wins, especially when you're hitting 364 with a 1.3 OPS with 3 bombs in this past week. Now he's the team's leader in home runs, 15 home runs. So come on.
I like how you're like, oh, then the team bust out with 2 wins.
That's what I'm talking about. Hey, but of those last 2 games, they're undefeated. So think about that.
Okay. That's cool. All right. Well, let me
put that in your pipe and smoke it. All right.
Let me give you my dud first.
Okay.
And I'll preface it with saying that I love this guy and I hope he does better. It's not like every time we choose a dud is because we love these guys and we just want them to contribute to this team and be better. It's not because we want them to stick around in the dud area. But Mookie Betts, man.
That's how I feel. That's how I feel, but I'm sure you hate these guys, so.
No, of course not. Mookie Betts, dude. He's been a postseason hero, and we love this guy. We just want him to do better, and there might be an argument for him, focusing so much on shortstop defensively that it may have taken away from his game offensively, sure. But even then, there's just some at-bats that look so uncompetitive, so like defeated already before he even gets to that third strike or whatever it is, that it's just he looks down, he looks bad. He looks down bad. So I hope he gets better. I hope that infield hit maybe wakes him up and hopefully gets him to start hitting. I don't know, wishful thinking. I mean, he hasn't. I don't remember the last time he even hit a home run. So, I mean, it gets bad when what's his name? Miguel Rojas has a higher OPS than you. You know what I mean? It's hard to defend. It's hard to defend like against other fan bases who are trashing him when it's like, well, I can't really say much, other than he's helped us in the postseason. But right now, this year, he's having a really rough year. So, it doesn't matter because if he shows up in the postseason, none of this will matter. But as of right now, it's just a really tough watch. He's popping up almost everything. I think he's trying to be aggressive and go for the first pitch because he thinks it's going to be a fastball. But if you're popping up everything, it's like, it's not even worth it. Maybe just take a couple pitches. So
do something different.
Do something different. Yeah. It's been hard to see that. And you need him because you need him to get in front of Shohei. You need him to get on base because that solo shot can become a 2-run shot like we saw versus the Twins. And just start hitting, man. I know it's easier said than done. I understand that, but it's just
be yourself, but better.
Yeah, be yourself, but better. I mean, defensively, he's been solid. He's been really solid all year. His throws haven't been the best all the time, but he's been really solid. And now we just need the bat to follow through and hopefully it gets better.
Gotcha. Well, before we get into the second part of studs and duds, cheesecake. Hey, yo. Hey, the fuck, yo, son.
I don't know what that means.
Nobody. Here's the context. I wanted to give it out of context. The thing is, if we did this, I would give my Dodger stud would be Michael Conforto because he can't hit. That's what I want to see. So, maybe we can pick our duds. So.
I naturally would give it to Justin Verlander every outing.
He got a W.
He's my dud. He would.
I got a W.
No, he's my dud this week because he got a W. He's out of the norm. Stick to what works for you.
He should be player of the month for MLB because he got a W. Legend status. My dud is going to be okay. So my dud should be Mike Yastrzemski because he's hitting under 100 in .067 on the week, and it does give you a good outfield defense. And I think he needs to be replaced for the trade deadline. But he's not my dud. I'm going to give it to someone who's actually hitting 300 right now for the week, and that is Heliot Ramos.
How did I know you're going to say that? And his defense. Hey, his defense has been
exactly my point. The offense has been good. Defense has been so bad, like legitimately handing runs to the other team. And I want to say, I guess there's some amount of offense that could, constitute that, but there's almost no amount of offense that can constitute that. And everyone keeps talking about, oh my gosh, Heliot Ramos needs a DH. We need to trade for an outfielder because Heliot Ramos needs a DH. That is not the answer. Heliot Ramos could be a good outfielder. He was a good left fielder last year. Literally was racking up WAR because he was a good defensive left fielder last year. When he got to center, that's where it went down. Left field, he was killing it. So he needs to, I don't know what needs to happen. I don't know if someone needs to get in his ear or if he just needs to, work on his defense and have that be his story next year. But the DH spot is not for Heliot Ramos. Ramos needs to get his stuff together in the outfield. He needs to clean it up because he does make good plays. He makes good plays, but then there's a lot of plays that are routine that he just drops or he overruns or he underruns. He misreads, and it's like, dude, it's almost like the Willie Adames syndrome, right? He makes the flashy plays, but sometimes the like routine plays, he's just a lot of errors. So Heliot Ramos, he needs to be that guy. Let's stop with the Heliot Ramos is the DH narrative. He just needs to be better in left field because he can do it. He's an athletic dude. He's not in his 30s. He's like 27 or 28. He's not down the hill. Get better at your defense. Clean it up. That's all I'm saying.
It is a little worrisome, though, right? Because I remember the Dodgers going through this, and sometimes there still are, with Andy Pages. At least when he first started playing center field, and he didn't really know the position too well. And then, he's turned into a decent center fielder, not his natural position, but he's been really good for us there. But yeah, he was making silly mistakes, and it was kind of carrying to the plate, and it was just bad all around. And then it just took some confidence. Eventually, got his confidence back, and took off. And he's been having a really good season for us. So maybe that's what's going on with Heliot Ramos. But the thing is, he is a left fielder, so he shouldn't be struggling too much.
He shouldn't. He should be able to handle left field. He came up as playing center field. He had played a good center field left field last year. So it's in there. Just need to clean it up. I don't know what needs to happen. I don't know if someone just needs to get in his ear and be like, dude, clean it the F up, or just needs to work on it more. He got a little comfortable. I don't know, but clean it up. He's better than that. He needs to be better than that.
Okay. We'll see. All right. So my stud, I'm going to go pitching wise. And I feel like good pitching can sometimes be contagious when it comes to starting pitching. It's like one guy starts pitching well, then the next guy starts doing well, especially when you got talented guys, in the rotation. So
right.
Tyler Glasnow, we desperately needed ace-like performances, especially with Yoshi kind of like slowing down a bit. The outing he had in Milwaukee was not good at all. He didn't even last I don't know if he lasted an inning or two. I forgot how many, but it was a bad outing. And then, this last outing versus Minnesota didn't get off to a good start either. But Glasnow, on the other hand, is 6 innings versus Milwaukee, 4 hits, 1 run. Like he was solid for us. Then yesterday versus Minnesota, 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 run. Like those are really good numbers. A really good outing when your team desperately needs it. When the bullpen is on fumes, losing pieces left and right, and so you save the bullpen, especially with an off day after that. So you get double the rest. And yeah, man, I hope he can stay healthy. And that's your hope with Tyler Glasnow all the time. Like, he has this in him. He's an ace type pitcher that he can dominate, and he can potentially carry his staff, right? Because he's that dominant. But it's just staying healthy. And then that's the worrisome part. So if he can stay healthy, man, that's such a huge pickup for this rotation and a huge lift, especially with Snell also coming back. And he's kind of starts to form your playoff rotation. It starts to look deadly, right? With because of what I'm saying, because we needed pitching. We've needed pitching in the worst way possible. Also, I know we needed hitting, but I mean,
I just love turning you Dodger fans against each other. So
Shohei hit a home run in the 9th when it was a Chris Paul kind of meme, when it was 10-5. And, what I mean? It was like, It was painful to make that meme, but it was like, it was the truth. I just think Glasnow, you get Glasnow, you get Snell, Yamamoto, and potentially Shohei once he's ramped up. That foursome, I'll take that versus anybody in the playoffs. So hopefully they can stay healthy. Honorable mention to Shohei for his 5 home runs in a row. But Shohei is so out of this world that like you expect all these things from him because he's so freaking crazy. He's so good. So I guess that's part of me taking him for granted a little bit. So maybe they're both co-studs, but I'm just really glad that Glasnow is back and that he's pitching well. I just hope that he keeps doing that going forward. And for that, I just wanted to give him the stud this week.
Bad choice, man. Bad choice.
Yeah, I guess so, man. I got to sign out after that one. My bad. I get it. Shohei should definitely, because he's, we've been starving for offense, and this guy's hitting a home run for the last 5 games. So I get it, but I just wanted to shout out to the pitching side of it because it's been so down.
Tragic. Yeah, so I think it's now we're going on to next week. Next week, this is the last week with the teams as is.
Before the trade deadline, yep.
For the trade deadline, Giants are going Mets, then Pirates, then off day trade deadline, which is very important. We don't have to worry about hug watch. We don't got to worry about nothing like that. We just concentrate on the trade deadline, refresh Twitter all effing day. So you would like to win both series because the Giants desperately really need to start gaining some ground. And you can't expect the Dodgers to be playing the way they are. The Mets have been scuffling a little bit lately. They lost, right? Am I crazy? Am I thinking, no, that was the Cubs have been scuffling because the Brewers have just been on fire. So yeah, we got Logan Webb, Robbie Ray, and then I think Roop there it is. If I'm not mistaken, I guess it's TBD, but I believe that's Roop there it is a spot in the rotation. It actually might be, it's not Verlanders because he just got the win. So I think that's Roop there it is. Because Hayden Birdsong went down AAA. Oh, hopefully he comes back up soon. But the guy just cannot find the strike zone right now. They got to figure out some stuff. So we shall see what happens.
Yeah, and for the Dodgers, they got a pretty tough schedule. Well, I mean,
I'd like to hear that.
I guess not the Reds, but it's always been a house of horror lately for the Dodgers in Cincinnati. I believe they got walked off a couple times there last year. I'm not sure if it was last year or the year before, but we got Boston first, and it's like what's that guy on Twitter? Jared, forgot what his name is. He's a huge, yeah. He's like, this Boston team cannot figure out if they want to be good or bad. Like they're good one week, they're bad the next week. So who knows what we're gonna get? But so you got Sheehan tomorrow versus Bello, and then you've got Crochet versus Kershaw. The biggest mismatch ever there, right? So I expect Kershaw to obviously dominate. And then I think we see old friend Buehler. So hopefully we win 2 out of those 3 because that middle game is going to be tough. Regardless if it was Kershaw or anybody else, Crochet is just dominant. So that one's going to be tough. And then the Reds, like I said, it's always tough there. There's a bunch of offense in that stadium. So we'll see how that goes. And then they got the Rays before the deadline. So hoping for something positive, but we'll see. Oh, no. The Rays is after. I'm sorry. It's just the Red Sox and Reds before the deadline. So hopefully they can win those 2 series. But yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Be here and be square. Next week, we're going to be doing trade deadlines. We're not sure exactly on the time. We will get to you on the time, but it's going to be a trade deadline show where hopefully you have some guests coming on talking about.
Yeah,
hopefully
we will be here on the deadline day, right?
Yeah, deadline day. Hopefully the time the deadline ends, you can come and hang out with us and we can be happy about all the players that we got.
You can
hopefully the Dodgers.
Yeah. If the Dodgers don't do something that you like, you can scream at us. If the Giants don't do something that you like, you can laugh with us. But we will be here and we'll talk about every trade that was made or wasn't made or was close. Those are my favorite, right? Like the Dodgers offered this and we're on the 1 yard line, but it didn't happen.
Right.
Why are you telling me? I don't want to know.
I don't want to know. Come on, Joe Budden. Yeah. I guess on the way out, what is one thing you need to happen before the trade deadline? Are you cool with staying pat? Do you need one thing? Where are you going?
Relief. I think you need a top relief arm. Like I know that's not Friedman's thing to do. I know he usually does it on the radar kind of move when it comes to pitching. I mean, he did get Kopech last year, and that was pretty big. So, I mean, you are going to get him back, hopefully, Scott and Trinan. But I think you still need another arm. So, I mean, like I said, hopefully
you're going to get who back?
America. Why is it specifically to that part of the song?
I literally had to find that part. That's got to be the part that's there. So
But I think it'll be more obvious during the week who else is available. I mean, but my pick would be Halsey from the Cardinals. He's a rental, so maybe you don't have to give up as much as you would for a Class A. Well, obviously you won't have to give up because it's a rental, but it'll still be a hefty price because he's a top closer. So I hope maybe that's the one that gets done.
Okay. I think that
what does Jesse think?
A lot of it's about me. But if we're talking trade deadline, the thing that the Giants need is a starting pitcher. They need a starting pitcher really bad, especially when you don't know what's going on with Hayden Birdsong. Is he going to find it? If he's not, at the end of the day, you need someone behind Robbie Ray that's going to that you want there in a playoff series. And Landon Roop has been amazing, but he's also hitting his innings. I don't want to say limit, is inning high, I guess season high. So I think they need someone to solidify that third spot in the rotation. I think it's more important than a bat, but I would also like a bat. I think if I've been saying it the past couple of weeks, they got to figure out exactly how far in they want to go. And if they want to go in, they want to make a playoff push and a push that run deep in the playoffs. They'll need one of each. I think they can ride the bullpen. It's a little shaky. You don't know what's going on with Duvall. You don't know who Christian Walker, Ryan Walker is at the moment. But I think you can get away with just relying on those guys. Maybe seeing if Wisenhunt can turn into a late inning bullpen guy for you. But you need a starter. Would extremely, extremely like another bat. So we shall see. That's what we need.
We'll see, man. We're both going to be refreshing Twitter like hell this week. Hopefully something
all day.
happens, but yeah, the first domino already fell, so we'll see.
It's gonna happen. Giants are getting Mike Soroka. They're gonna get Joe Ryan too. Fuck it, just trade everybody, and they're gonna get Steven Kwan. How are they gonna do it? I don't know. Buster Posey's just gonna do his magic, and we're gonna get everybody. But until then, make sure to subscribe to us on your favorite podcasting platform as well as YouTube. And next week, Dave, unless you got something.
Yeah, next week, man. I'm super excited for the deadline. It's always a fun time. Everybody's so excited that their team's going to do something. Hopefully they do. We'll see.
Hopefully they will do something unless they are the Dodgers. And we'll see you guys that day. See you next week, guys. Thank you.